Okay, Javier Dominguez on the left side, blue-black scam, sitting on 4-1 against Andrea Mengucci, Cradle control, also sitting at 4-1. Both players probably can't afford another loss here, depending on the tiebreakers, of course. They'd rather like to go undefeated for the rest of the Swiss here. Round 6 of, as I was told, 8. And what are we gonna do here? Seeing some openings, of course, once upon a time. Both players, actually, every time I play against Andrea, I'm always impressed how fast he plays in paper. Like, he's a very fast paper player, and yeah, let's see how that happens here.
If you think Andrea plays fast, you haven't played against Javier enough.
That's true. I've only played him like once, maybe. Actually, I played against him online like a lot, but that's different.
Javier, while playing, is one of the fastest players that you can imagine, and also nervously fast. Like he's moving all the time. He's checking. He's making sure that everything works and that all the game goes his way. So
that's so cool. So what he does here, by the way, every time I see him on camera, this is one of his first favorite plays in the first turn, just like scry and or surveil rather. And I guess maybe you had a creature that you can reanimate later on. Otherwise, you're just still gonna get something into the graveyard.
The thing is, Javier is playing 2 surveillance today. If he's playing the list of yesterday from the trios when I played against him. And on turn 1, the deck doesn't make many plays. You can ponder or cycle, but every time you have the surveillant in hand, for the later you play it, the less good it is, because on the first turn you lose 1 mana, but the next turns you are losing more and more mana on the deployment of the surveillant.
Makes sense, yeah.
So on the first turn you get your scry, you get your value, and
it's like very low opportunity cost. Like if you do it instead of a ponder, it's not a big problem. Like ponder is still good later on. And right after Reliquary coming out from Andrea's side here on turn 2, like this is kind of like why people have been calling this deck like Dark Maverick almost. Doesn't really, like the origins are like in the Elves deck, and then it transformed over time. And like by now the only similarities are, I guess, Cradle and Cradle of Behemoth. So it's almost like the bastard child of like Nickfit and Elves in that regard. But first right of Reliquary getting Fatal pushed. Second one showing up as well. Let's see what Javier has to say about that. He's got a frog, he's got 2 brainstorms, he's got an animate dead. What? Just like running out the brainstorm here.
Here we can see that Wright has to sacrifice a creature, but Mengucci doesn't have a creature. Or maybe yes.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
There is the sneaky Dryad Arbor there, so he could search for Bojukabok if Javier tries to go for Reanimator kill, but he's for sure not gonna fall into it.
Nah. I mean, right now it's still summoning sick, but later on, right, once you
no,
get
it doesn't.
to that.
Ah, okay, it's the second. Okay,
the first one was fatally pushed.
The replay one.
Also, Springheart Natuko in hand for Andrea. That can also cause a lot of trouble. Dude, I like how shanky this green deck is. Just like almost sometimes feels like a cube deck, like a random value here, random value there. As you say, right, you sometimes go wide, and that's what blue-black scan doesn't really want to see.
And you can go really wide.
Yeah.
Have you bestowed Nantuko?
Yeah, of course.
When you bestow Nantuko on almost anything, on Endurance, on Ride, you can go very crazy. Even just on Dryad Arbor, every Dryad Arbor that comes into play, you can pay, because it's a landfall trigger, so you can keep making Dryads for each 2 mana that you...
Okay, that's bonkers. That's actually insane. Does the deck play like a Quirion Ranger to pick up a land?
No.
No? Okay.
I think no. But you have all the Reclaimers and all the Reliquaries, so you can...
Yeah.
And it totally also plays a lot of fetches, even for being just a 2-color deck without Brainstorm.
Look at this. This doesn't look like a Legacy deck at times, but apparently it's like so good. You got like your Cradle there, you got your Talon's Gate of something, phasing out everything. And yeah, there's Springheart Nantuko. So let's see. Javier is gonna go for the end tomb on the main phase here.
Okay. Javier doing it on the best way. Like I set it up everything with my Ponder, my Brainstorm, my Scryland, so that I just Grief your Endurance, Entomb, and Reanimate. So to have it all, like that's how old is this play?
So let's see what we can do here. He's gonna look through his deck. Probably is he gonna just like find the Archon of Cruelty or something?
So if he knows the deck list, Andrea doesn't play Caracas.
Yeah. Caracas.
So you can go for for Atraxa, but I think getting the value of Archon every turn is very hard to come back.
Yeah. I can see that. Archon is such an annoying card. It's like, it's kind of funny. Like we have so many cards to choose from, but it's just like this random dragon with a sack effect. I mean, it's a ton of value, right? When you think about it, yeah.
But when it was spoiled, would you have thought that it would have beaten Griselbrand?
No, I wouldn't have thought that.
Like drawing one card cannot be better than drawing 7 cards.
Yeah. In a way, you get some kind of like mana advantage because you don't draw as many cards, but you immediately influence the board, which usually costs mana. But this guy is like, no, you get that for free. And so, yeah.
My future match, I waited until my opponent deployed his Yorion, so for reanimating my Archon, and got the Yorion from the Death and Taxes with Caracas back up because he tapped out, and then was just if you wait to the right moment, it's amazing. If you wait too much, maybe. I also like a lot the interaction with Orsich Bullmasters when you always can sacrifice the token because they keep drawing cards, and so you always at least can sacrifice the.
You just run out of life total at some point.
Yeah, you just 6/6 flying is good enough.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take out that Springheart Nantuko.
And I think one of the outs of Andrea here is gristing the Archon, but he needs a lot of resources for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if he even plays Grist, I like yesterday I saw a couple of Cradle control players discussing this, and some of them are not even playing Grist anymore. They want something else. But I think maybe the standard list still plays Grist, but if he doesn't, that's pretty rough. Okay, yeah. At this point, I think I don't know what Andrea can still draw into that gets him back into the game. Like actually, maybe even if he has Grist, right? That's not good enough. Just like straight up removal spell. No. Oh, okay.
I think the only win condition for Andrea is like that Javier has to go.
Okay, just send him like a fake phone message, dude. You have to come home. Your house is on fire or something.
Something like that. It's a win condition.
I guess it can win you the game, dude. I played against a guy in Nuremberg. You know, there's like an American army base in Nuremberg in Germany, and I played against him and down a game, and then he got a phone call and he was just like, yes sir, and then he got up, he picked up his cards and he ran away.
Okay.
Because he was apparently called into the military base, and I was like, I guess I win.
That happened one time. My opponent said in top 8, maybe I have to go because I can't receive a call. And in the middle of the game, he had to leave. So
I had the same in the finals in another tournament in Nuremberg, and there was the last train I had to catch. And I know if I don't catch that train, I'm in big trouble. So I want to split the finals. So I suggest a split. Opponent's like, I don't know. I want to play maybe. And I'm like, no, let's split. He was like constantly thinking about it. So I shuffle up my deck. I sit down. I constantly hope that he just like he's threatened and he's like, okay, let's split. Then we draw the opening hands. And I'm like, you're still not splitting? No? Okay, I go home.
Yeah.
Okay, acceleration on the first one for Andrea. Javier going for the turn 1 Ponder this time. No surveilling here. What do we see on Andrea's side? We got Reclaimer.
The Cradle control deck plays a lot of Hirach. I think it plays 8 Hirach, which was a card like maybe 3 months away. You could not play because Bowmaster was everywhere. The Scam deck was playing 4 Bowmasters and then Doughties. But now Bowmaster is out of the format. I didn't even play today on my sideboard any Bowmaster.
Oh, not even in the sideboard?
No, because the card is so bad in the mirror because it doesn't kill anything. I wanted just more gas for the mirror instead of playing a card that is good against. I just want more cards that can. So
Kai and I talked about this in the last round, how Bowmaster was basically relegated to the sideboard of the blue-black scam decks. But now you tell me a lot of people are even dropping it, or at least you are. So yeah, it's funny like how people were calling for its ban, but by now it's not even in the format anymore.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's?
Oh, in response,
yeah, I guess because he only has 2 lands in hand.
This happens a lot when your opponent has like Frog or something like you grief them and then just daze you, even if you can pay, and then they discard the spell, so the Frog grows and nothing is to discard with grief. So that's a classic pattern from the blue-black mirror at least.
One you definitely have to be aware of.
Yeah.
right now. So what are we gonna try to do here? Maybe if nothing else happens, get a Cradle or something. Yeah, Buchuka Borg is out there.
Here's the problem that I said earlier, that you have a huge amount of problems if your opponent is going wide with the Elf deck or with another. So here, Andrea is attacking for 3. Javier can block, but he loses a lot of value on the.
Yeah. Also, you can do something like get a Cradle here and then later on get a Layer of the Hydra and start attacking with a lot of big creatures.
Does he play Layer of the Hydra?
I've seen it a lot. I don't know if Andrea plays it, but I've seen it a lot in these decks lately. We also see the well, we call it Flood Moon, like the Merfolk thingy, which
Magus of the Island for us.
Magus of the Island, yeah. It's not too exciting here, is it? I mean,
I guess you have to do because if you doesn't play the Magus, the game goes very, very wrong. Like
that's true.
Here you force them to get the forest so they can play Magic.
Yeah, but they still have like green mana through the Hyrax, but I see what you're saying, yeah.
It's better that them having to search for a forest instead of just searching for Cradle and doing
that's true.
Cradle-y things.
I was watching Andrea earlier, and every game I watched, he just randomly gets like Cradle, casts Card off, and wins the game. And I feel like I've seen that before, but pretty common pattern in that deck.
Happens a lot.
Yeah.
More often than you think.
Yeah. So is that gonna be? Wait, is he gonna get another Talon Gate to face something out? No.
No, because it is the Magus. So he can face the frog. Oh yeah.
Oh, he faces up the frog.
It's based in response. Okay.
Ah, okay. So that's kind of cool.
Now it's out-faced until.
It faces back on Javier's upkeep, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Or on his beginning of turn before the upkeep, something like that.
The facing thing is so crazy because it's from Mirage, like 25 years ago.
A lot of the players here were not born when that became a thing, yeah.
Yeah. And the ruling is very strange by how enchantments and this kind of things keep, because it's not like flicker or something.
Yeah.
And for me, I like it to explain, like, you are going to put like
put your hand on it and ignore it.
Yeah, your hand or a crystal glass. So you can see it, it's there, but he can't do anything, and you can interact with it. Yeah. So it's like in his own
it's
bubble.
Like in a bubble, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this changed now, but in the past was when something phased out and there was like an equipment on it, the equipment phases out with it and then comes back. So when people played like Batterskull and had the Charm token on it, when I played Merfolk, we played the Reality Ripple sometimes. So you phase out the token ceases to exist, and then Batterskull never comes back. But they changed that now. I think now the equipment comes back.
Because I think the ruling was with enchantments, with auras, and when phasing came out and the ruling came out, the equipment doesn't exist. So they had to update the cards, like for Tarmogoyf. For example, in Tarmogoyf, you had the kind of types of cards, but then you have you have battles, you have...
Yeah, true. So what's happening over here? The frog comes back, and Javier is sending them into combat, really?
Yeah.
He's double checking how big this guy is actually going to be.
It cannot grow yet. Also, Javier also likes to attack a lot. He likes to play very aggro games and race a lot. And he's the kind of person who will always attack when... There is this thing that they say that if you're not going to block, why not attacking?
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. That's one of the first lessons when I watched my first Pro Tours back like 2005 or something. I picked up one of those lessons, which was like, if it ain't blocking, it's got no business not attacking. Right.
So maybe it doesn't, but 2 damage. Maybe you end winning a race by just putting out your hand on the frog and two-shotting them.
It's those scrappy games, right? Sometimes you lose the game and your opponent was like on 1 life. You feel like...
How many times have you won races by just attack with my heroes for 3 turns because I had nothing to do?
Yeah, but I also sometimes I would just go turn 1 Nettle Sentinel, turn 2 Nettle Sentinel, just like attack for 6.
And your opponent with Force of Will for your natural. Yeah. I'm casting 1 once.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Easy game. Okay, we're jump blocking the frog, it looks like.
Jump and what is? Oh, Dismember.
Oh, Dismember this guy.
Whoa.
Oh, interesting.
I think this play is almost game over. Because now the requirements are going to be 3/4 very easy. Javier had 13, so it's like 2 or 3 turn clock depending. And he was in very bad shape already, and he could maybe hold with the frog, but now
No, it's even worse. Yeah.
Fatal push in response on the
Oh
reclaimer.
yeah, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
Dismember still on the stack.
So he might reanimate the Magus of the Islands back. So that because this deck usually play also one Echo in depth.
Oh, that's the Lie of the Hydra, by the way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he's pulled it to the front.
That's gonna be a nice race.
Yeah. I think Andrea. Oh no, Andrea paid the full cost for the Dismember, right? It's the Hyrax.
Yeah.
So he didn't lose any life. Okay, yeah, this one.
So this is a 2-3, 1-2
still, right?
1-2, but he can't fetch to just throw it.
Maybe he's just gonna get draw it arbor end of turn or something.
Yeah. Okay.
As you mentioned, reanimate this one back. Response fetch.
And now you
should go to 19.
Javier, like the top class player he is, he's
oh, the Scry, okay.
He's able to fight back from very difficult spots.
Yeah, like we've had him on camera twice already today, and I was like really impressed with some of the games he still turned around.
Yeah.
He was like in really tough positions, and as you mentioned, right, he kept being aggressive even though he was like behind. And then when he got like a little bit of tempo, all of a sudden he could turn around the game, and he won out of a position where I think a lot of people would not get that.
And that's why Javier is world champion, and we are here.
Yeah, but we don't have our own cards. Do you know what is this card called? I couldn't remember. He's got the guy on the horse, right?
Fervent Champion.
Fervent Champion, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. He should have made a legacy card.
Yeah.
I want to play with it.
It's very hard to design cards for the World Championships because they ask you to do at least not now, but in the past when there was the invitational cards.
Yeah.
There was very hard times to design because the players had an idea, then the design team says yes, no, and then sometimes your idea is too pushed, and then you go for a really bad one.
Rakdos Augur Mage and something like that, and nobody ever plays. Yeah.
Yeah, this happens. For example, there was one player who said, I should have asked for much more, so they don't creep it instead of asking for a bad card.
Yeah. There's also like, I think Olerade took famously like 5 or 6 years to decide which kind of card he wants. But, I mean, Sylvan Safekeeper, one of the more played cards, at least in Legacy.
Yes.
I mean, there was a time when everybody was playing... Yeah, okay, yeah, true. There was a time when everybody was playing Dark Confident and Vintage and Legacy. I mean, that's not really a thing anymore, but... Pop Maha, also famous card. Stepcaster Mage, of course.
One day I was playing on Magic Online, Black-Green Depths, with the 3 Sylvan Safekeeper in the sideboard, and for some reason, all raid opened straight with me.
Yeah.
And
it gives you the proper artwork.
Yes. He says he was watching, and he was, you are using the wrong card, and the card was very expensive. Like the regular one was 10 cents, and the
judgment one is like more expensive.
It was like 4 ticks. So he was like, I'm not gonna let you.
You're showing off the wrong one.
I've sold most of my collection on Magic Online, but I still have those Safekeepers.
Oh,
just because
amazing.
They were a gift. And
it's actually the same for me. I also sold most of my collection on Magic Online, but somebody gave me a couple of like birds. There was like a from the vault birds or something. I don't know. And I felt like I can't sell those. I got them as a present.
They were a present, and
yeah. So the game is still looking pretty scrappy, but
Javier at 5, so
frog.
Now attacking maybe doesn't look so good.
Watch him just like go all in. She's like, I don't care. I have darkness.
I have darkness.
I remember when we played that in Modern in the sideboard. It was just like, oh my god.
Playing Fog in Modern was one of the best decks.
Yeah. Okay, so what's his path to victory here?
It's gonna probably reanimate one of the Reclaimers, so that.
Oh, he goes all in on Frog. Or maybe he just wants to top deck something that allows him to still play the game.
Panda. He has to get a blocker for sure because of the if he doesn't find
Layer of
removal,
the- yeah, so he wants to like brainstorm to like wasteland for the layer.
but also he can. I mean, he can attack for
Fatal
1,
push
2.
for one of the attackers. Like
So
you basically,
Mengucci can attack for Liar is 1 activate and X. Like
I think it's 1 and X, yeah.
Liar is 4 and Reclaimer is 3. So he can reanimate a 1/1, a 1 mana creature to chump. So he goes to 1.
Okay. So I was
But-
thinking brainstorm to wasteland plus fatal push.
Yeah. So it's always tough when when you have a ponder and the cards are like, yeah, there's a brainstorm there, but nothing much else.
Yeah.
So should I shuffle or get the? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the layer's an island.
yeah,
Okay,
okay,
chat spring.
so-
Yeah, okay, yeah, there was something. At least we got that one covered.
Okay.
Okay, there's a reanimate. There's 2 reanimates actually. How much life do you want to lose? Yes. There's even a crazy world where you reanimate the fairy macabre because that can. Oh, okay, but 11 life is still too much. You
Yeah.
can't raise 11 life. Yeah, you mentioned that. Reclaimer's gonna come into
For
play.
1 life, you're gonna just chump block a bunch of times. Chump here, then he has another reanimate for the next turn. So, like we said before, Javier is racing. He likes that, and
He's
he's
a race
very
car
good at it.
driver.
I think most of the top players
Yeah.
are like this because they play a lot of sealed. So
Dude, you can learn so much from sealed.
yeah,
I'm not a good limited player, but I used to be a completely horrible, terrible limited player. And then I played it a lot just because I liked it. And you learn so much that you can use like in constructed magic as well. Just like proper gameplay sequencing, everything. I even played other card games. For example, I played Netrunner. And Netrunner made me aware of like sequencing because you only have like 3 or 4 actions per turn. And it's really important that you do them in the right order. For example, I don't wasteland my opponent and then cast Ponder when it doesn't make sense. So a lot of times I would do it the other way around. In Netrunner, it really matters. And once I stopped playing Netrunner and came back to Magic, it also was like, you think a lot more about sequencing when you have limited actions, and that helped a lot. So, you said it, racing, getting in there for some more damage. Andrea can also rip something from the top. What is Andrea looking to draw?
anything more.
Anything really, right?
Any spell that does something is pretty good here.
So,
This
okay.
card, so
Make
hits
the
for
frog
4.
even bigger.
So 3.
I mean, all of a sudden, like, it's not looking that bad for Javier. What's happening here?
Blue Blood Moon. Always everyone's favorite. So
Okay.
what is in Mengucci's hand? It's and
Endurance. Oh, he can't cast. Oh, he can cast that. Yeah.
He can cast. He can cast it. He
Yeah,
has the Tears and the Forest. So
Yeah.
probably that's the end of the race. But no, being at 3 life, the requirement and the endurance is lethal.
Yeah.
So
That looks really good for him. Another frog for Javier.
that's another block. So you think Javier is gonna attack with both, and hold the frog back to chump, or just attack with the frog?
Does he have like? Can he send the frog to the air? Does he have
No,
like?
all the graveyard is exiled already by the flying frog from earlier.
Oh, but there's like 2. There's like this and there's like that. I don't know. Sure.
I'm pretty sure that.
Okay, so if he's got nothing in the graveyard, then you probably. It's really hard.
Maybe not. Maybe it's exiled. Probably he has graveyard.
3 life. That's. And the reclaimers are 3/4 already, right? Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's rough. So it's like 4/5 on attacks. You can play the frog to jump block, and then this frog deals 4 and 4. No, you just go all in. I like it. You make the decisions, Andrea. I'm gonna send this one to the air. I mean, technically, if Andrea got nothing, he actually has to block the flood. I mean, he's gonna. Oh yeah, well,
Wasn't
there's that.
the endurance now?
Remove.
So he gets the deck.
Gary's like, I'm gonna give it flying once again. I'm gonna give it double flying.
You can do it because
Yeah.
so you don't have bad cards in your deck.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought.
So probably you should have at least exiled 3 cards.
Some of the bad ones, yeah. Okay, so this one's
So
gonna take out the
block.
Murphork.
And still, if Javier draws a card that does, it's
Like
very
Fatal
hard.
Push or something.
No, because now the Lyre is active. So wow,
Mm.
Fatal Push. 3,
got the
3,
frog.
and
And then you hope that Andrea misses that the layer is active now, but I don't think he will.
It was a close call on if attacking on with Harbinger. So and you notice he was thinking about this. What happens if?
Yeah.
But this last turn he didn't have the endurance, so he drew it now.
And packs it in.
Like
Dude, but this guy's so close. Like they ended up on 3 life each one. That's a really good game. That's also like if you go into this game to analyze that, I love that. So yeah, now we got the third game. Javier is gonna be on the play, double checking his sideboard. Took out some dazes.
And even if you are not changing anything,
you are 15 in, 15 out.
Always, maybe if you have 2 forces in your deck and 2 forces in your sideboard, just swap the 2 forces from the main deck for the sideboard, just because the sideboard configuration you may think, oh, maybe he boarded him back the reanimated package or not, or yes. So.
So once again, going for the turn 1 ponder. Andrea's probably going to lead with Once Upon a Time. Green sleeves with red sleeves. Oh yeah, and that's one of the ways you can fight, right? The deck going wide, engineered explosives.
Yeah.
Like Plague Engineer is not really a thing anymore. Like I guess that's also like it's. What are you even gonna name? Like the hierarchs are even different creature types, I believe. Oh, I think they have shamans and druids, so that doesn't do anything.
The problem is paying 3 mana for removal is so expensive. And nowadays it doesn't kill any threats from the top tier creatures deck, so it doesn't kill anything from Delver or so maybe a Delver you can snag it, but
but even then it's just like on turn 3 really, and then it might even get dazed. It's just like doesn't seem great. Okay, Andrea running out his signature play, turn 1 Ignoble Hierarch. Everybody's favorite goblin these days. Who would have known that the best goblin in Legacy is green now?
Depending. If you play Commander, it's Chant.
Okay, it's Chant. Okay. I mean, okay, Goblin Bombardier is also really good. What are the new ones? I'm not Bombardier.
See,
Bombardiers? Broadside Bombardiers. Those are the ones. Oh, those are so good. We had a game earlier today where a player could have just like activated Broadside Bombardiers and win the game.
Against Emrakul.
Yeah.
I was playing just in the next
oh, you saw it?
Yeah, and was like, why you are not attacking with everything and throwing into the face? It's like, okay, you are going to win anyway, but...
because your creatures force you to win next turn, you have to attack with all your goblins.
So I was like watching and seeing something is...
Yeah, I was also wondering what could it be, but I mean...
it also happened in this kind of events because there are 2 format events or different format events, and you can play proxies in Legacy that people play easy decks like Blood Moon, Stompy with proxies just because I don't play Legacy, so I'm gonna play this, and they don't know all the ins and outs of those decks.
That's true. I mean, I've also made horrible mistakes in other formats, and even in Legacy in the past, so who am I to judge?
For example, a friend of me who doesn't play Legacy say me, I'm gonna play Modern, but I need a deck. And I say, okay, if you're not gonna play a great deck because you have to test, like I let you ops all spells and just try to shoot people.
It's funny you mentioned that. I had a friend of mine, actually a friend of mine, play his very first Legacy tournament. And he told me, I asked him, what are you playing? He's like, I don't know. It's like a deck. Like, I remove my entire library, and then there's only like 4 or 5 cards that matter. You're playing Doomsday? He's like, I don't know. And then we come to the tournament. He's actually playing Upsal spells. He removes his entire library. He says, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, you can play that. That's okay.
It's easier.
This is like a replay of the first game. We get the first Rite of the Reliquary down. It gets killed. Now here's the second Rite of the Reliquary. That one sticks. And then we Buchuka. But this is almost like the right side of the board feels exactly like the first game.
Yeah, but now Javier doesn't have all the pressure.
Yeah, he's got nothing. He's going to basically use this as a 4-mana removal spell, taking out the second Knight.
Did you have in those games where you are trading 1 for 1, especially post-board, you have to get a frog rolling because you need to get the advantage back.
Yeah.
And then that's the reason why all those cards are banned in Legacy, because they are threats that generate advantage more than
Dreadhorde Arcanist and stuff. Yeah.
No one cares about a Tarmogoyf attacking for 5.
It's like, hit me. I don't care.
The relevant thing is a frog attacking for 1 and drawing a card.
Yeah. But it takes some time to understand that. Yeah. Like when I started playing, I thought the craziest card in Legacy was Goblin Piledriver. And I would do like cranial extraction for Goblin Pile Driver because I was so scared of that card, and then I lose the ringleader.
And then you played against the good goblins guys and say, no, I play maybe 1, maybe 0,
Yeah.
because the card is only like win more.
Yeah. The thing is, I played against the Goblin guy, and I played cranial extraction on Pile Driver. And then I look at the deck, it's not there, and he's like, I sided them out, and was like, what? You sided out Goblin Pile Driver?
He knew it. He knew it. They knew that you're gonna cranial them.
Okay, so looks like, well, on one hand, the White of the Reliquary is soon going to be active, but Bochuka Bog is already in play, so you will not be able to stop the reanimate and animate that. And then there's a Murderous Cut, right? So we're going to take this one out.
So it's still not active, so he cannot Talon it out with. So, and then now we start again.
Is that going to be?
Oh!
From hand. Javier's like, what is this?
4 mana, you can put Talon of Madara from hand into play and face something out. So that's the secret line of the card.
Yeah. I totally missed that would actually be a good legacy card. When we were talking about it on the podcast Everyday Eternal, I think Kai brought it up like towards the end. I was like, oh, I never heard about this. And now it became like an actual card that people play here.
When I read it, I got one on presale.
You what not?
Yeah, I bought one on presale because for the Dark Depths deck I like to play, it's like more or less a better Sagiri step. Like I play usually 2 Sagiri, so it's better to have like 1/1 because this makes that for example, your Marilage can survive Shield Red Edict, which was a hard time. Or you can face a blocker out, or you can face an attack. So you can make so many tricks with that card.
And a lot of things that people don't expect, right? Yeah. I like that. Okay, so Knight's still around, so is the Frog. Javier picking up, well, both the Blood Moon, Merfolk. I don't even know what the proper name is. Harbinger of Tides or something.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I remember some card names. It looks like it's going to come down once again. He really likes that card. Do you know how many of those he plays? Like 2?
I think 2.
2, yeah. But not in the main deck, right?
Because one got killed. No, the sideboard. One got killed by the earlier Fatal Push, I think.
Ah, okay.
So
it makes a lot of sense.
There are people playing 1, playing 2. It depends on what you expect. The huge problem is your sideboard has to have so many cards for the mirror. So you have to cherry pick the 5 last cards of your sideboard for the other decks.
So tell me, what are good cards for the mirror? What do you want to bring in?
Usually play like 4 removal spells in the sideboard, and then some mishmash of Doughty Void Walkers and Orchid Bowmasters. And then you play 1 or 2 Graveyard Hates. Some people like Echo Baronin plays Purge, the Coffin Purge.
Oh, Coffin Purge, yeah. Because that gets discarded to grief, and then you can still use it.
Entomb for it. Which is against the Reanimator deck. It's like having, instead of 1 Purge, you have 5 Purge.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. By the way, Andrea actually has a second Talon's Gate.
Yeah. That card is amazing.
Okay, I got to order the playset right now. Here we go. So, Dried Arbor. White is available. White is probably gonna. Oh well, I was gonna say White is gonna get Lair of the Hydra, but we have Harbinger of the Tides in play. Doesn't really do too much there.
Maybe Mengucci played the Talons to face out the Frog with the Talons. No, I think it was played on response. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sadly, those games are not live, so we can, if we see any mistakes, those mistakes probably happened like half hour earlier or 1 hour early, so we cannot.
The top 8 is going to be live.
Yes.
You know, we started a little bit later, and since we cut down all the downtime, we're catching up to the live feed. Yeah. And also, as soon as you get into the top 8, it's going to be all live matches.
This is something amazing from the future.
For future,
yeah. That's like Ansi started doing this, and Inigo learned from it.
Yeah, he's passing on the knowledge. Like now, a little bit more people can do it. Yeah, I like that. It makes, for me, my commentating experience, it makes it a lot smoother. Yeah. You get less breaks. You get a lot less breaks. Yeah. But on the other hand, you never have to like force yourself to stay mentally connected when there's like lots of shuffling and everything.
And I think for the viewers it's much better because having those 25 minutes downtimes or you have to watch the commentators speak about nothing because or you just have to see a screen like, yeah, we will be right back.
Coming back soon for 1 hour or something. Yeah. Okay, so Javier, what is he going to be up to with this graveyard?
Javier's again at 5, so his racing strategy is not working. Maybe he should play a better scholar Shadow Spear.
Yeah, he should play some life gain. Yeah, I can see that.
Healing Self.
Healing Self. Well, what's a good black life gain spell?
There is Vampiric Link that was playing in the past.
Yeah.
Modern against. You can put it on your Cormac Angler, or you can put it on your Eidolon, on the Eidolon of your opponent. So every time they cast a spell, you gain 2 life, and every time you cast a spell, Eidolon does nothing. So.
Okay. I was thinking more on lines of Vampire Nighthawk, but that's even cooler.
Yeah. The time was where Vampiric Link was a staple card in Modern.
So what, we're gonna get our second copy of Dryad Arbor here, sacrificing the first one. And Javier, what does he have? Like, I guess he can go hardcast Grief if he wants to. There's nothing really exciting going on in the graveyards right now. I don't think you want to animate that at Dryad Arbor. I mean, you don't lose life. Yeah, okay, you don't lose life. It's
free is free. It's
the ultimate jump blocker. It's like a plant token.
So.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is that gonna be a grist?
I think if it's for grist, it's lethal. Right, like 1 creature in the graveyard, 2 creatures in the graveyard. So the right attacks for 4, and that's have to chump. So yeah, this I think it's isn't lethal, but they have Javier has to chump.
Javier knows, right? He's got like his next draw step, and
so
even if he draws the best card, it's not gonna do it.
Going white works out.
Yeah. Cradle control, dude. Andrea moving on to 5-1. Javier, depending on the tiebreakers, technically still in there at 4-2 now. We'll see how that's going to work out for him. It's only going to be 8 rounds. Initially, I thought it was going to be 9 rounds. So
I think even with 7 with X1, you cannot draw probably the last round because we are 220, and I think
really close, right?
I think the jump is just 226. So probably.
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we're actually moving on to the second feature match that we got. Let's load that one up. And okay, so Javier still fighting for top 16, and we will see. Andrea still en route to making a top 8 here.
Yeah. So probably only like the 2 first tables can draw the last.
Oh yeah, they would be undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time, it has like tons of draws.